What's up? Welcome to the nice live stream. I'm him. Today is April. Wait, not April. What month is this? God damn it. What month is it? It's September 25th. I should have known that. Today is my little brother's birthday. That's why I thought it was April, because it's like it's either April, which is my birthday, or September, which is his birthday. So, but yeah, we have some interesting news that's had. We got some interesting news that just came out. And it's quite interesting how all of these folks who are being incriminated right now come from a very specific party, and every 4 years they all go out and say vote or die. I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen. It's very obvious to me that one of these parties is full of deviants and evil, and yeah, I'm here for it. That's what I'm here for. Anyway, let me go ahead and hop over into my screen share. And we're gonna pull up. Actually, before I do that, let me pull up. I just watched the announcement. All right. Let me pull it up right quick. Cool. Got it up, and let's go into the screen share. Go ahead. Oh, wait a minute. I lied. Not yet. I forgot that I got some more to do. I was seeing my preview. You shouldn't be seeing my preview. There you go. There we go. Oh yeah, what's up? What's up, Casual Economist? How you doing today? Or tonight, I should say. All right, let's turn off this music. We don't need any music anymore. All right, let's get into this video. See what they gotta. See what he has to say for himself, if he has anything to say for himself. Actually, I'm not gonna make this full screen. Forgot. You know, YouTube might take my stream off.
Brought to you, as well as Fox 5 there in New York, and we'll wait to see from the mayor's office what their response is to this. And once that indictment, whenever it is unsealed, we'll have to look at what charges Adams is facing here. But that is the news right now. Mayor Eric Adams of New York City facing weeks of mounting pressure, with almost everyone in his orbit being swept up into these scandals that have plagued the Big Apple for months.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Are going to bring you now.
Sorry, I played it at the middle. The charges are still right. I don't know. I don't know yet. But it's interesting that this is the same guy that gave P. Diddy, or Diddy, or the Diddler, or whatever you want to call him. I don't know what we call him these days. But Sean Combs, I'm going to call him Sean Combs. He gave Sean Combs the key to the city not long ago. Just putting that out there. And it's interesting how Sean Combs was recently arrested for a bunch of stuff. Some of it I don't agree with, and I can get into that if y'all really want to. But yeah. I'm starting to see the walls closing in on these people who go out and virtue signal and try to pretend like they are better than thou. You know, I'm here for it because I've been seeing them. I've been watching them talking all this shit about how they're so good and they're so great and how everybody's evil and whatever. And I'm just like, you race baiting. I'm not gonna say what I want to say, but fill in the blank. You know, they race hustlers. That's how I look at them.
More news, more New York officials calling on Mayor Eric Adams to resign here because of all of this. I want to put this up. You see there from the New York Times that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said Eric Adams should resign as mayor of New York City for the good of the city because she becomes the most prominent Democrat to push for his ouster amid federal corruption investigations involving his
Honestly, she should have just used the typical trope. You need to get out so that we can protect the children. You know, you gotta make sure you have some victims. You know, I noticed that they like victimhood, so it's like maybe if she would have mentioned some children, you know, some women and all this kind of stuff, and like some minority. Well, I guess he's minority, so she can't pull that off. Let's see what she got to say.
Administration. So. AOC says this: I do not see how Mayor Adams can continue governing New York City. The flood of resignations and vacancies are threatening government function.
She thinks that that's threatening government functions, and not the fact that that they have this little crisis, their self-inflicted crisis, their sanctuary city status, and now I guess it's because of him. That's the reason why. They're having these vacancies and all these kind of things. Weren't the cops resigning in New York because New Yorkers wanted to defund the police, or is that, I don't know, or is that just a myth? I don't remember. I don't have a good memory. Somebody refresh my memory. Was that them? Was that them saying that they wanted to defund the police? And I'm curious, is this the same place where they're losing 200 cops a day? Or I'm sorry, a month? 200 cops a month. That's 2,500 a year. In a city like that, already has a shortage. So I'm wondering, like, what flood of resignations? Actually, I want to see. Let's see what flood of resignations she's talking about. NYC flood of resignations, because I'm curious. Like, what is she talking about? Or is she just saying some words like they like to do? They just say stuff, and they know that people are idiots, and they're not going to read and go and try to find out anything. They're just going to believe that a bunch. Okay, so all right. So I see that the police commissioner resigned this month amid an investigation. Who else? Also, 2 former high-ranking. Okay, so 3 people so far. All right. So is that a flood? Wait, hold on. Is 3 people? Is 3 people a flood of resignations? Because I only see 1 resignation. The other one, these are indictments. These aren't resignations. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm doing a poor job of this. Let me see if I can find anyone else who's resigned, as she so aptly said. Resignations. Okay, the flood of resignations. Can we see who's resigned? Like, who are the resignations? Any of you? I mean, casual economists. Do you know? Is it just me? Has also told people he had considered leaving. Okay, so 1 person, the city's emergency management commissioner, has told people that he's considered leaving, but he didn't leave. So, this is disingenuous. That's a bad faith argument that she's laid out. Let me make this full screen so you can read it. Now this, I don't even know what she is. I don't want to misgender her. So I'm gonna just say this CUN, finish it. She is over here saying that all these people are over here resigning, but there's only been 1 resignation. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not someone who's like, I'm not really a Eric Adams fan. I'm not his enemy either. I'm just like, right now, I'm just seeing that she's saying some shit and it happens to not be true. So, like, I guess she's doing what they do, lying. They're good at it. So let's keep moving forward. Let's keep going through this video. Obviously, I had to stop the video because YouTube will take me off if I just play it straight through.
Non-stop investigations will make it impossible to recruit and retain a qualified administration. That's just part of her statement there on social media. Linda Schmidt has the new statement. Mayor Eric Adams firing back at AOC here. We have it. Let's take that live here. Let's take that full. This is how Mayor Adams is responding.
For anyone who self-righteously claims people charged with serious crimes should not be in jail, to now say that the second, we don't care that you're black, but sure, that the second, wait, hold on. Why did he capitalize black? When did black become a proper noun and not an adjective to describe a noun? Why is black capitalized? Anyway, the second mayor of New York should resign because of rumors and innuendo without even a single charge being filed. It's the height of hypocrisy. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I believe that it is AOC who's out here running their mouths talking about people shouldn't go to jail. You know, thieves. I hate thieves. I'm just going to be honest. I hate them. I wish that we had a society a little bit more like the Middle East where we take a hand if you take something. I would prefer that. Now, maybe people will disagree, broke people who've never owned anything and had anything stolen, but I've had over $250,000 worth of shit stolen from me in my life. So I kind of feel a certain kind of way about thieves. I don't wish them death, but I do wish that we take their hand. Like, I mean, that's just how I am, you know. I want you to have a reminder that you should not be stealing shit, you know? Like, I want you to live and suffer with having only one hand. If you want to choose to go steal again, we take the other hand. If you want to steal with your mouth, then we take a foot. We just keep going until you just, you know, stompy, you know? Yeah, I agree. Like, why I don't want to put people in prison. Why would I want to put people in prison? Knowing who pays for it. That comes out of my money, my taxes that I don't want to pay, that's being stolen from me every month and every year, because I also have to pay taxes at the end of the year. So it's like, I would prefer to not put people in prison unless they deserve to be in prison. And I think there are very few people who really deserve it. I think that murderers, rapists, that's it. That's why they belong in prison. All the people, we can figure it out, you know. But like, for now, murders, rapists, prison. Actually, no, I disagree. I actually take that back. I don't think that murderers and rapists should go to prison. I think that we should just kill them straight up. Just axe them. I don't know, just get rid of them. We don't need them. They're not a net contributor to the society. And I don't think that my tax dollars should go towards making sure that they are alive in some government facility, so that some private corporation can make all this money off of them being in prison. You know, like, I would prefer that. I don't understand what the fuck's wrong with Ecamm. It keeps moving my window to another screen. It's really annoying. All right, let's see what else he's got to say. All right, I've already read it. We don't need to hear you read it.
That no in this entire.
Oh shit!
We are getting some breaking news in
breaking
right
news.
Now. This is quite something. Okay, this is coming to us from the New York Times. And this is quite stunning. I had just said in this entire story that we have been covering that no indictments, no charges had yet been filed.
Here they are.
In all of this scandal going on in New York City, in the mayor's office, City Hall, the NYPD, the New York City Public Schools. The New York Times has it right now that Mayor Eric Adams of New York City was indicted following a federal corruption investigation. That's according to people.
So it's a federal corruption investigation. Here's how I hear that. He's doing the same shit that every other politician has done, except either A, he isn't getting away with it because of, I think because he's probably pissed off the wrong person and he just needs to be moved out of the way. Or he's done something to where it's going to cause irreparable harm. I don't know how that can happen to the party which he represents. So that's kind of interesting that, you know, all these virtuous people are out here having these charges. You know, I've never had a charge in my life, you know, and I might get called racist. I don't know if I get called racist, but maybe I am. You know, you might call me racist. You might call me sexist. You might call me misogynist. You might call me any other label. You can call me anti-Semitic. You can call me whatever the hell you want, right? You can call me all this shit, but what you can't call me is a criminal or a convict. These people catching charges. And apparently, I mean, our culture, they want us to believe that if you get a felony or whatever, I don't know if this is a felony. I don't care if you have a felony. I'm one of those people. I don't respect the government enough to give a fuck about what they charge. But notwithstanding, they are on the government side and they're doing all of the shit and they're over here getting indicted and they're over here saying that, oh no, we are the virtuous ones. It was just a little sus thing. That's it. Well, I'm sorry. What's it? Thought he was banging kids. Yeah. See, it's a corruption charge, bro. Like that's essentially what happens when you live in a communist state where they have all these laws on the books and they know that people are breaking the laws, but they allow it because it's a way that you can control people, right? Like if you know that at any point, yo, Zaddy can come in and enforce the laws that you've been breaking, well, you're going to be willing to submit. So I wonder if this is one of those situations where, like, you know, maybe he didn't submit. Maybe giving Diddy that key to the city, maybe people didn't like that. I don't know. I'm just making up stuff. I'm just adding to the misinformation, apparently.
Well, briefed on the case here. This is
opinions. These are all my opinions.
Right now.
No, these are just my opinions. You know, I'm making all this up. No, some of this could be true. Some of it could be false. Go do your own research or not. I don't care.
Quite stunning here. We just read out that statement from the mayor firing back at AOC. AOC becoming the first New York member of Congress to call on Adams to resign. There are, though, in Albany, several state lawmakers.
Wasn't she like a? Oh my God. We'll get into AOC. I don't like her either.
Who have already done just that, calling on Adams to resign. AOC becomes the first U.S. House member from the New York delegation.
Well, I don't know. I can't wait. How is she a member of the House? Like seriously, you know how much respect I lost from for our government, not just because of her. Obviously, I don't like. I can't give her that much. She's such a insignificant person to me. Like it's not really her that's the reason why I've lost respect for our government, but she's part of the reason. Like she's like what she represents, like just that what she represents. Our government's a farce. It's a farce. We're gonna get into some of that. Kamala did some interviews apparently where she gave some more word salad. I hate salad, so obviously I hate word salad, and I also hate people who just talk in circles. Because as someone who actually is a little bit intelligent, I see through it very quickly.
Just that now, Mayor Eric Adams of New York City has been indicted following a federal corruption investigation. Remember, he first came to power as mayor back in 2021 after winning that election there. And so we don't know what that indictment says. This is just from the New York Times.
So we don't know what it is yet.
Outlets confirm it, like the Associated Press. We're waiting on sources here at Fox as well to confirm what we just brought to you.
All right, well, let's see if we can go and confirm. MIC mayor indicted. Let's see if we can see what it is. Indicted on federal criminal charge. Vague. You know, this almost seems like a hit piece. Like, look at this. Well, first of all, Google is trash. Let's just take a moment to appreciate how shitty Google is now. Let's have a moment of silence for the death of Google. All right. Rest in peace, Google. Let's see what this indictment is. The charge against it's sealed. Okay. All right. So yeah, they're sealed. What's the point of even announcing it if it's sealed? All right. Well, I guess we'll figure that out later. So yeah. Oh, well, there's a lot of updates. Let's see here. All right. He's been indicted. Yeah, we know that. But you know, this is literally a waste of energy. You know how much energy it costs to make a post? I know it seems insignificant, but you need servers, you know, all that kind of stuff, multiple servers, and you got to like connect to it. You got to have them run. Like there's a lot of infrastructure that consumes a shit ton of energy to serve us these web pages. And they've essentially just wasted energy by writing this. Okay. All right, fine, whatever. We'll move on. Way to give us nothing news. Like all of these, Google plays favorites. They're showing you all of the propaganda. This is all government propaganda. Literally all of these. I wonder who owns these. CNN and ABC and CNBC and New York Times. I wonder who owns these companies and what their motives are. You know, I don't trust media that's owned by a single person who is after power and money, which is why I don't trust anything I see on the government, or I'm sorry, on the internet anymore, because it's all propaganda. America's great at propaganda. We're probably the best. Anyway, so we're not going to find anything out here. There's nothing to see. So what we're going to go now is look at some clips from the Discord. Oh, by the way, I have a Discord. I forgot to put it in the thing, but I'm gonna put it in the chat. Maybe it'll work. Probably not, but we'll see. Let's see. Discord. I think this is mine. Yeah, crispy thing. Does that work? Can y'all see that link? Does that link work? So I'm pulling these out of my Discord. Y'all aren't gonna see it in the Discord because I have a private channel, and it's only gonna be for people who I know in person, because it's literally called Real Talk. So it's gonna be like it's that. But anyway, I'm gonna start pulling some videos that I've been sharing lately in that channel or in that server, whatever it's called.
Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
Hey, speaking of
This
love,
is love.
I saw a guy on the internet the other day who said he used to be your security guard, who said that when you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Well, this show has gotten crazier since the last time I
No, it's all about love, though. That's not true?
You really heard that? No.
Well, yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
I don't know what you're talking about. Jimmy, I thought we was friends. Where did this go?
That's a little sus though. And it also, did you notice that for whatever reason, how did my background just pop up? Like, what's going on with Ecamm? It's been acting funny lately. For whatever reason, my preview window keeps disappearing and moving over to another screen, and now my desktop is visible. I don't understand why, but whatever. I don't care anymore. Let's look at some other stuff from Diddy. Oh man, you know what? I think I had to pull it up on my. Oh, here we are. I found it. Nope, that's not it. Here we go. So we got this guy. We're not going to listen to it because I don't want to be copyrighted and whatever. But I just want to pull up Justin Bieber right here because, this involves Justin. And I'm going to pull up my phone right quick. Let's see if I can find this link right quick. The Slack is going away. So yeah, yeah. For anyone that's outside, Slack is going away. So it's only going to be Discord. And there's a public channel in there. And right now all the activity is in our private channel. So all the folks who were part of my Slack, and these are all people who I know in actual life. They're now in the Real Talk private channel, but that one's closed off. But public chat is open, and there might be some other public channels that we do in the future. But yeah, now you don't have to worry about reminding me to renew your status. I don't have to worry about like paying. I don't have to invite you or anything. You come and go as you please. So yeah, have fun with that. I'm looking for something. I don't see it. I've been sharing a lot of. Oh wait, is this it? Yeah, I found it. Never mind, found it. Give me a second. Let's copy this link, and we're gonna open it up here. Okay. And of course, these embarrassing I fucking hate them. Oh my gosh. I hate these people. Let me get them out. Fucking disgusting. They're a disgrace to my race. All right. I'm not. It'll look a little glizzy. I'm just gonna say a little bit of glizzy. That's what it looks like. Let's look at the body lane. We're gonna watch it. Let's look at this. We got Trey Songz. We got them drinking stuff. He probably don't know what he's drinking. And look, they got caught. They got caught, and he has to put it back up. That's all I can say. What you think going on? Just saying, like, what you think going on? Oh, what the hell? Wait, what the fuck? Man, I don't like Discord. All right, let's look at some other stuff that I've been posting up in my little channel. Not all of this is going to be sus shit. I actually want to talk about some interesting things to me. It was just funny to me, the other one. Okay, so I want to read this tweet because it resonates with me a little bit. So we're going to read it. Okay. Make it full screen, make it a little bit bigger, even more bigger. Hopefully y'all can see that. It should be big enough. So this is from Bill Ackman, okay? Let's not forget that the president of the United States, Biden, was the Democratic presidential candidate 63 days ago. I got to play some music for this. Yeah, we want some music. Let's do some, we'll just do some background music. Yeah, we'll do some of that. Yeah, some nice smooth background music. Let's put this at negative 24. Okay. We were told by the administration and the media that Biden was in perfect health and that videos of him exhibiting serious deterioration were right-wing propaganda. Now, I know I don't have the best memory, but my memory ain't that bad. And that was just a few months ago. That wasn't that long ago. I remember it. That a certain group of people in our government were saying all of these other folks who are saying these things, that's just propaganda. It's just BS, all this. Let's keep reading. Then, threatened with the 25th Amendment on July 21st, he stepped aside to be replaced by, this Marxist person who was complicit in the lie. She knew and she told us otherwise. Her reward for keeping quiet was to become the presidential candidate without a primary or other transparent process for her selection. Now, I'm going to pause here because even though I don't like this person, if Democrats would have selected her as their nominee, democratically, then I would just be like, you know what? That's just who they want. Whatever. I still don't have to like her, but whatever. The process is still being respected. Like, it's still democratic, whatever. Fine, I'll live with it. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. It's just like, no, she's going to be the person. And it's like, if you don't like it, well, then you're racist, you're misogynist, you don't want what's best for it. It's just like every label they can come up with. Let's keep going. The Biden lie is perhaps the greatest lie ever told to the American people by our government. I don't know if that's the greatest lie. I think there's a bigger one. It happened when I was in fifth grade. I'll just put that in there. You could do a little bit of math if you know a little bit about me. But it happened when I was that's a lie. It happened when I was in seventh grade. And somehow we ended up going to a war that we were in for over 2 decades. I personally think that was the biggest lie. But let's keep going. We can say that this is the biggest lie. That's cool. I'll go with it. And this lie was also told to us repeatedly with a bold face by the current Democratic nominee for president. Just think about that. She was fine with lying directly to your face, which, to be fair, if you're the kind of person that puts on makeup every day, well, I guess that's just kind of the same thing, right? There's no difference. Like, it's just no difference. The Biden lie is perhaps the greatest lie ever told to the American. I don't, but sure. Now, all of a sudden, the former most left-leaning senator proudly left the Bernie And we know where Bernie is, and I'm fine with Bernie, but Bernie is, a little bit closer to the Marxism side than other people on the Democratic Party. Now, that's not to say that some of his policies, some of his thoughts, and all of the things. Like, I don't necessarily disagree with everything he says, to be honest. In fact, I don't even dislike Bernie Sanders. I actually quite like him. Anyway, but that's enough of that. Let's see. And now I'm going to start again. Now, all of a sudden, the former most left-leaning senator, and now the most left-wing politician in the country over the last 2 months has become a gun-toting, shoot the intruder, fracking supporting, border wall building candidate who began her career at McDonald's. She almost sounds like a Republican candidate for president. Now, here's the interesting thing. I remember not long ago, she was talking down about Republicans. Well, I don't know if she was talking about Republicans, but I'm going to just say Texans, because I'm from Texas. And some of the things that she was saying was a little offensive to people down here in the South who don't live in these cities where everything that they have is produced by someone who actually knows what the fuck they're doing in life. That's the thing that's not lost on me. All these people who are in these positions, they live in these big cities that can't function without the people who live in places like here, growing crops and feeding their ass. They can't even feed themselves. I'm pretty sure if they lost electricity and they lost access to, I don't know, logistics, transportation or whatever, they wouldn't last a day. They're incompetent. They rely on an underclass of people who they, label all kinds of names and say that they don't know what they're doing and all these kind of things. Somehow they need them to survive. But we're going to keep going. How can anyone trust anything she says? Well, I don't know. The thing is I don't trust anything that anyone says, especially when the first thing that they do is to try to make me believe that they look like something that they don't. I'm just being real. A lie is a lie is a lie is a lie. If the first thing you do is wake up and then figure out how to lie to people, well, then it's not, yeah. I can't trust. Even if you carefully watch her speak or read the transcripts of the 4 interviews and 1 debate she's done, it's nearly impossible to understand what she's saying. She's yet to answer a direct question about the economy, the border, or foreign policy. She's answered it. She said that she's from a middle class family background, which is interesting because there are not very many middle class background black people in America. But maybe that's just the stats that I've seen. Maybe somebody should show me some other stats that I haven't seen. Maybe the ones that I was looking at were wrong. It's interesting that, she grew up middle class and she had all these. It's just like, that's interesting, as coming from a actual black person. Just like that doesn't sound like the black experience in this country. But, I do know that, obviously there are some, I'm not disputing that. They're obviously middle class black people. But most of them are in Atlanta or in New York. I wouldn't say that they're in San Francisco, Bay Area. But anyway, I'll move on. Weapons of mass destruction. Yeah. Bullshit. That was all a lie. It was no weapons of mass destruction. You know what it was? It was the same thing that was, it was drugs. That's really it. It's drugs. It's drugs. Poppy. Opioids. Opium. We had a war with a country a long time ago, and that country called it the Century of Shame, where Western nations wanted to sell drugs, specifically opium, in this country, and they were willing to go to war so that they can continue to have their opium monopoly in this country. So it's not lost on me how pathetic our government is. Like, not all this bullshit about how we're all great and all the human condition and democracy bullshit. All bullshit. It's all bullshit. Now, I know a little bit more than I'm letting on. Like I know a little bit more. I can't get into some of it for reasons, but like we're not what people be saying that we are in this country. I see it for what it is. I see it for what it is. All right, but let's keep going. Even if you carefully watch her speak or read the transcripts, we've already read that. Let's go on. All right. In response to questions about specific policies, she simply repeats the same scripted stories about her being a prosecutor, growing up middle class, and or other non sequiturs, and neither the media nor the moderators challenge these insipid, unresponsive answers. Well, I wonder why that is. The media is propaganda owned by the state in a weird way. The government is a corporation, and the corporations run the government. Let's be clear here. So if the corporations run the government, then how are these media outlets not government propaganda? Now, I know some people be like, oh, well, technically they're separate. I don't care. Bullshit. At the end of the day, the end result is it goes along with whatever the United States government says that's what the agenda is. That is a government propaganda. Straight up. Whether you want to be like, oh, it's not owned by the state, zero fucks over here. The end result is they have an agenda that seems to align quite strongly with a certain party in this country. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. I voted for Joe Biden because after Donald Trump's first term, I believe the country would benefit by a more centrist candidate. Biden promised to bring the country together. And as Biden was a supposed one-term president, we were misled into believing he wouldn't be beholden to the progressive wing of the party and could implement a moderate political agenda. I'm just going to say my life was better in 2016 than it is today. Your life might be better, but no, I only care about my life. I'm sorry. I'm selfish now. My life was much better in 2016 than it is in 2024. Just saying. You want to know what's crazy though? In 2016, I was making less money than I do today. Interestingly, I think in 2016, I was only making $160,000 a year. I make a little bit more than that now. And for some reason, my life was significantly better in 2016. My rent wasn't fucking $3,500. Actually, no, it's not $3,500. My rent's now $3,750. Before I had to pay like all the other bills, like the water, there's like all the other things. So when it's all said and done, I pay $3,900 a month for rent. Now in 2016, when I was living here, not here, but when I first moved here, which wasn't long after 2016, my rent here was only $2,400. Just saying. To me, maybe that's where all my money went. My grocery bill wasn't the $200 easy that I spend just getting a few items. Like today, I bought 2 cases of water, some sparkling water, Topo Chico, that's a 3-pound bag of limes. Oh no, I think that's a 5-pound bag of limes, and some dishwashing. Like the dishwasher things that you put in the dishwasher. I got those items from Costco, $85. $85 for 2 cases of water, Ozarka water. It was on sale for $5 a piece. That's why I bought it. But here's the thing, on sale for $5, yet in 2016, this same case of water that's now a 40 pack was a 48 pack. And it only cost me $2.96. So I don't know. It's just me. My life was better. If maybe y'all's life were better now today. That's cool. All right. I and the American people were misled. I apologize for casting my vote for Biden, and it was a big mistake. I don't know. Sure, maybe. I don't know. VP. Well, I don't understand what Biden. All right, I'm gonna keep reading. VP Harris's entire candidacy relies on support from an undisclosed cabal of party leaders who selected her in a private process. She didn't get 1 vote in the primary, and that's my problem. Like, again, I don't have to agree with her politics. I don't have to like her as a person. None of that. I'm what you call a mature adult who can separate my disdain for a person and look at what they've actually done, the outcomes. I'm capable of that. I have the intellect for that. My problem is specifically this right here. Who voted for her? Which Democrat said that they wanted her? Like, not long ago, everyone was like, oh, we want Biden. And then just all of a sudden it's like, no, we want Kamala. It's like, who asked for her? That's my issue. That's my only issue. But we'll keep going. Her campaign is a blatant attempt to say what she needs to say in order to get elected. She's keeping her appearances unexpectedly limited compared to any other candidate in history, so she has less surface area to be understood for who she really is and what she actually believes. She's done 4 interviews and Tim Walz 4 during the last 63 days, compared to 70 for Trump and JD Vance. God dang. God dang. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's interesting. All right, I'm going to look at that article because it says some words and I don't really just be trusting stuff like that. Also, I should probably open this. Let's come back here. I missed my, okay, yeah, let me open that in a new tab. Ask yourself, what previous presidential candidate in history has run a campaign doing everything he or she could do to avoid the media? You won't find one. Then ask yourself why. What's interesting to me, though, is that the media has started to pick on the fact that Trump is not having as many rallies and all these kind of things. But what they all seem to be just ignoring and glossing over is that this dude has had 2 not suicide attempts. He's had 2 what do you call it? Assassination attempts on his life. 2 within a 3-month time span, and for whatever reason that's just lost on them. They're just like, oh, he's not. It's like, to be honest, if people had tried to take me out a couple times, I probably would have been like, I'm not doing these again, period. Just saying. I don't understand how, like, they're not making a bigger deal about that. Like, I'm not someone who actually likes Trump, but at the same time, I also am not someone who believes that we should have assassinations in our country. It's just interesting to me. Anyway, ask yourself what the previous president. All right, we've already read that. I believed of the scam. A lot of people did. That's why we went to war. A lot of people believe a lot of things the government says, and this is why it's propaganda, because most Americans, I'm not even going to, let's ignore the intelligence part, because I think Americans are, most of them are fairly okay. Most Americans don't consume media outside of America. The only thing that you see is what we have here on our TV, and if we don't want you to know something, it just won't be on TV. This wasn't very obvious to me until I moved out of the country for a little bit. I spent a few years traveling around, and it became very obvious when I would be seeing and hearing about certain things that are going on. And then you look on American news media, it's nowhere to be found. They're not talking about it. Let me go back to another, I'm gonna go to here because this Ecamm is starting to piss me off right now. Sorry, Ecamm. It's just not working. All right, let's do output video. There we go. Okay. I'm going to read this again. Then ask yourself, why? VP Harris's evasiveness is only possible here because of a complicit media, which should be screaming from the rooftops about her refusal to be interviewed. But that's the thing, though. Media is owned by, well, it's corporations, and the corporations run the government. And since they run the government, they make sure that they have policies put in place that benefit them, to make sure that these billionaire owners continue to siphon out wealth from the rest of us in this country. And I think it's the job of the Democratic Party to appeal to people's emotion, to make sure that they vote for it, to allow it to happen. And then it's just like, let's just blame other people for this is why this is the way it is. It's very clear to me that they don't represent people. And I'm not saying that the Republicans do either. I think that both parties are I think both parties are trash. But right now, I think one party is more trash than the other, because, you know, anytime one is a hypocrite, I'm going to look at the hypocrite as the one that's worse. The one that's projecting, I'm going to look at the one that's projecting to be the worst. The one that's like, oh, all of them are these racists or whatever. But then as soon as you don't follow whatever they believe, all of a sudden, no, you're a bigot. You are a misogynist. And they could come every name that they can come. They're the meanest, most whatever. Like, that's what I see. So it's like, yeah, in my opinion, they're both trash parties. But the Democrat Party's worse. VP Harris's evasiveness is only possible here because of a complicit media, which should be screaming from the rooftops about her refusal to be interviewed. But instead of repeatedly excuse and praise her and her campaign, they have been glazing Kamala over the past 3 months. They've been, like we just saw, they've been glazing her, bro. Like for real, for real. In the nearly 4 years of Biden-Harris administration, the world is up in flames. Correct. With a hot war in Europe. By the way, we're going to get into this. Russia just changed their nuclear policy to remove the like that they need to be struck first. That's going. Like they're getting ready to take this nuclear. Sure. No, it's fine. It's my Discord. It's the new Discord. I guess yeah. I'm going to start promoting it. I forgot to put it in the description, but it'll be in the description here on out, maybe, if I don't forget to put in my script. I have a snippet editor that I put snippets in. So if you join that server, you should be able to access the public chat, which is open to everyone. I'll probably rename it to like general or something like that. Or maybe like live stream. I don't know. We'll come up with something. But yeah, there's some private channels in here as well, which, you know, since y'all Casual Economist and Hoosier and I think Jimmy, I think y'all have been in my Slack, in my Slack before in the Fame and Glory. So since y'all are always here, and you know, I'm okay with allowing y'all into my member, like it's not really a member, it's like a paid member, it's more like my friend group. I'm happy to allow y'all in there. It's the same kind of rule as before though, just so you know. Like this is almost meant to be like a digital house. So you should treat it as if you come into my house, right? So if you're easily offended or whatever, like I'm saying whatever the hell I want to say. So it's like, if you don't want to hear it, maybe that's not the place. Maybe that's not the place you want to be in. But if you're okay with hearing some of my hot takes, it's going to be in there. Stuff that, you know, because we don't really have freedom of speech in our country because a certain group of people are, they're hypocrites. So because I can't really say what I want to say publicly, I'm still going to say it. That's the part that I don't think these idiots realize, is that you can't shut down what people think. They're going to say it regardless. It's just going to go on the ground, and that's where you can't control it. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I don't want them to control it. All right, let's keep going. The world is up in flames with a hot war in Europe with an approaching 1 million dead. 1 million people dead and growing. Conflagration in the Middle East. Our large and small cities are overrun with unvetted migrants. I don't like that he called them migrants. They aren't migrants. These are illegal aliens. We have a legal term for it. That's what they are. They broke the law. It's a felony. We have felons in our country right now, and they're being given money, my tax dollars. The fucking 7 figures in taxes that I paid is going to them. And meanwhile, I can't give that shit to my family. I feel a certain kind of way about that, you know? Like, I would prefer to take care of my family with my money that I earned, but nah, I had to give 40%. Well, it's not 40%. It's technically 34% when it's all said, and it's too much. I had to give 34% of my money to the government, and now they're just giving it to these felons. Anyway, with the associated impact on crime, budgets, and services, and lower income Americans cannot afford a proper meal. Here's why I feel a certain kind of way about this. I'm no longer a lower income American. All right. I understand that. But what I think y'all should understand is that I was a lower income American. I didn't grow up middle class like Miss Kamala. I didn't grow up like her. I didn't grow up with a mom and a dad who worked at a fucking college and had a professor father. I didn't have that. I didn't have the kind of parents who can take me to other countries and send me to an international school. I didn't have that. I had to take out government loans to go to college, and I had to pay back interest on top of those loans. So it's like, I come from lower income, which means that my entire family, for the most part, is lower income. So I feel a certain kind of way about it. So I care more about this because it's like, well, this affects me. Even though I'm not lower income, my family is. So that affects me still. Even if it didn't, just by virtue of coming from poverty, like why no? Like just from that, like I know what it's like. Let's just say I understand what it's like. I really do. I understand what it's like to not be able to afford food. No, when I was in college, no, this is after, I think the year after I graduated college, I got one of those, I think it's a fake job where, you know, they go, these companies will come in and recruit you and they'll be like, oh, you can make this amount of money or whatever. And then you go in there and you find out it's basically door-to-door sales. Yeah, I was one of those. I had to take one of those types of jobs. I was doing door-to-door selling AT&T Uverse in the middle of summer in San Antonio. You know, for 3 months, I made $280. Okay? So this is what I mean by low income. I think I kind of went into it where I had to I slept on a futon mattress from a dumpster. This was during that same time. So it's like, I come from a very different place. So like, I feel for people who are lower income, and I understand what they're going through, because me, who I'm not low income, when I go to the grocery store, I'm just like, how can people afford this? I don't see it. I just don't understand, how can people afford it? Let's see. I messed with that profile pic. Yeah, I heard the Eric Idle. Yeah, said yeah. I think everything's politically motivated in this country. Any country where there's corruption, where there's more laws than what people know. You know how many laws we have? I don't think that you can live in America and not break a law. I think it really just comes down to which laws do we want to enforce. At this point, I don't see how we're much different from the USSR or the CCP, where we just have, you know, these laws on the books and we don't enforce them, and we know that they're being broken, but, you know, we let it happen. Kind of like with Diddy. Let's be real. If you black and you've been around and you've been hearing, like, you already know that this shit is not new. Hopefully y'all know that these rumors have been rumors for 25, 30 years. And some of these rumors have been more than rumors, because we have some of the people talking about it, but they just get called crazy and people don't believe them or whatever, and they get shut down. You know, the media, if you have control over the media. And like, let's be real, Diddy, you know, vote or die, remember that? Diddy has connections in the industry with media, so it wouldn't be lost on me that, you know, he did have some people silenced. And it's not just him. I think Sean Carter is involved in here too. You know, I think Russell Simmons, who's in Bali, all of them. None of them are innocent. Sell Diddy oil? Nah. Nah, I'm not trying to. Nah, no Diddy, bro. No Diddy. But to be even then though, like real talk, there's nothing wrong with having baby oil. Like real talk. I know that they're trying to make a big deal out of him having 1,000 bottles of baby oil. I'm gonna be real. From what I understand about his parties, there would be hundreds of people there. 1,000 bottles of baby oil is not much, especially if you're doing one of those like slip and slide parties. You know, you get those what do you call those things? You know, the water slides, those slides, and you put all the oil. It's like, plus he's rich. It's like, this dude's a billionaire. He probably just bought a pallet of them because it's cheaper. It's like, oh, just buy a pallet. Like, are you going to go to Walmart? That's the part that I think that they're doing this on purpose, because they understand that most average Americans, they can't think outside of themselves. They can't. They don't really have, you know, the empathy, right? Like they can't believe that someone could like get that much. Like, who would go to the store and buy 1,000 bottles? It's like, well, they probably didn't. If you are someone like Sean Combs and you own businesses, you're probably just buying it wholesale, and it comes on a crate. And if you know you're going through baby oil throughout the year, it's like, yeah, you would just buy a crate of it. Like, to me, like when I heard 1,000 bottles, I was just like, they just threw that in there just to throw that in there. Like, that doesn't really mean anything to me. Like, yeah, it's a lot of baby oil, but it's like, you could say the same thing. Why does a grown man need baby oil? You could also say the same thing. I don't have baby oil in my house, but if you had baby oil in your house, I'm not going to be questioning and be all sus and be like, oh, why do you have baby oil? It's like, who gives a shit? That's like you coming to my house and you seeing that, oh, I have lotion, I have shea butter, I have cocoa butter. Why do you have this lotion here? Why do you have this? It's because I'm fucking black. I'm ashy. You know, I gotta put, like, you see how dark Diddy is? You see how dark that man is? And you see how often he fly on private jets? You know, if you fly a lot, maybe y'all don't know this, but if you fly a lot, when you're up there, for whatever reason, I don't know why, but you get ashy, it's dry. So you need a little bit more moisturization, you know? So maybe he was using it for that. You know, he flies around all over the world. He's just like, you know, I'm a very dark man, and you know, I'll be ashy. That's, you know, it could be that. You know, it is baby oil, and I do know that. You know, some people like baby oil. I'm gonna buy a bottle of baby oil, not for reasons that y'all are thinking. My and this is why I say that it's kind of sus. My tailor, the tailor where I go to get my clothes and all that kind of stuff, like adjusted or whatever. Y'all probably gonna find this sus, but they have baby oil too. Why would they have baby oil? Well, it turns out leather. If you have leather jacket, I have leather jackets, leather pants. Baby oil is actually a very, very good moisturizer for that type of stuff. It doesn't really leave a lot of grease. It leaves no grease at all. It doesn't have a bad scent, and it's incredibly light. So they have baby oil. So it's like, I'm not really out here trying to judge a man for having baby oil, even if it's 1,000 bottles. Because while he has 1,000 bottles of baby oil, he also has $1 billion in the fucking bank. So it's like, you know, we're on different levels, right? If I can afford 1,000 bottles of baby oil at a time and I needed baby oil, I would probably buy 1,000 bottles of baby oil at a time, because why would I pay extra? You get a 50% discount for buying 1,000 bottles. Why would I pay full price? That's just me, you know. It's just how I think. But maybe, you know, maybe I'm the new Diddy when I become successful. Maybe. I doubt it though. All right, let's see. We got some comments. Let's see here. There's literally a woman who said Diddy shot her for the past 20 plus years. They used to just call her crazy. Wait, shot her? Oh, like shot like with a, yeah. Well, Jaguar Wright has been talking about stuff that Sean Carter's been doing to her for years, and people call her crazy. Orlando, is his name Orlando Jones or Orlando Brown? I think people call him crazy. People call Kanye West crazy. It's interesting how all these people get called crazy, and then, you know, it's just interesting. All right, we got to finish reading. I said I was going to read this. I didn't finish reading it. I'll read these comments though. Let me finish the comment. This one product I use for my hair is called Curl Enhancing Smoothie. Best product ever. Is it like the Shea Moisture or something like that? Did he dry cleaning his own clothes now? He might be. I doubt it. I doubt it though. Wait, where you get dry cleaning? A tailor's not a dry cleaner. I want to make that very clear. A tailor is not a dry cleaner. They're very different things. Now you could get tailor services at a dry cleaner, but they're not the kind of services that I'm like. I need like an actual good, you know, a good person. Like, these are people like the tailors who I'm talking about. They can actually make you clothes, that kind of shit. Like if you want a suit made, you know, if you like got 10, 15 G's and you want a nice suit made, you go to the tailor. That's the kind of tailor I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a dry cleaner. Hopefully I cleared that up. Let's see. Amazon warehouse doesn't have 1,000 bottles of baby oil. Maybe they don't, but you know who do? These distributors who distribute the baby oil, like Johnson & Johnson, they don't, I'm pretty sure they don't do their own distribution. I imagine that they have wholesalers who they deal with, and then who will go off and distribute it that way. So that's my assumption, is that he probably got a new crate. And given how many houses this man has, it's like, okay, well, what if he just had it all delivered at this one house? And he's like, you know what, I'm going to send 100 bottles to, I don't know how many houses he has. I'm just going to assume he has 10. He's like, I'm just going to send 100 to each of the houses. And given that he has party, I mean, he's rich. He don't do shit else but party. So it's just like, if you partying every day, I don't know, like, real talk. If I don't party, so I don't know. So I'm just trying to think. If I had a party and there were upwards of 250 people there, and like we wanted to have like a slip and slide party or something like that, is one bottle of baby oil enough? I know it sounds like a lot, but like, is that really a lot? Just a bottle of baby oil, just one, for a party with like 250 people? I don't know. I feel like I need more baby oil than that. That's just me. Or what happens if, like, you know, like over time, you know, the oil is going to come off the slip and slide, right? So it's like you got to re-oil it up so that when you run and slide on the slippy slide, you can still slide around, right? Let's see. Baby oil. Wait, no, that's the one. Wait, what's the one? But what baby oil is used for? Well, you can use for a lot of things. one is in the name, but the second one is like you can use for moisturization of yourself, of furniture, of leather, leather furniture, like that kind of stuff. I imagine if you just want to have a slip and slide party, you do that. I imagine you could use it for the same thing you would use any other like lubricant for, if you know, if you need a little help. I'm sure you could use it for that too, I guess. Yeah, that's it. After we finish reading this, I'm gonna go look at baby oil. Like I don't have baby oil. I don't have any kids around, so it's like I don't really see the point of it. Plus, generally when I needed to like get my jackets or whatever taken care of, I would never do it myself. I should do it myself because it actually costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to take it to the tailor. But anyway, let me finish reading this. Okay, our universities have become hotbeds of hate. Agreed. Free speech is being squelched, except for X. I don't know that. It's being squelched here too, bro. But all right. One of the first likely targets, along with the proprietor, Elon Musk, of a future Harris administration. Our government and spending. Why can't I read? Our government spending and wastes are totally out of control. I can go on and on. I strongly encourage you to vote accordingly. But like who? Vote for who? I'm one of those people where I think both of the candidates are trash. Of course, I think one is more trash than the other, but I'm not one of these types of person that's like, oh, the lesser, like vote for the lesser evil. To me, that's stupid. Evil is evil. Since when did we as a country accept evil? Because that's what we did. That's what a lot of folks, I don't vote in general. I want to make that clear. But a lot of the folks who voted for Biden, they're just like, oh, the lesser of two evils. I'm just like, how empty morally are you where you say that, where you're like, you know what? I'm willing to tolerate evil so long as it's not enough. So it's not too evil. Like, what the fuck? When did evil become like the thing that we accept in this country as people? Well, I'm sure it's always been the case. Maybe I'm not that old, but it's probably always been the case. All right. Well, anyway, let's see. You're not only an idiot, but you need to hire a tweet editor. Wendy. Who is Wendy? Is this Wendy? Oh, okay. I don't know who Wendy is. And why are they hating? I'm just curious. You're not like, so like, why is the name calling? We're calling the person an idiot. Okay, sure. I can't read all this, but Donald Trump is the Republican nominee. So, okay, Biden is apparently not fit enough to stand trial. Oh yeah, I remember that too. I do remember that because he had like, what is it? Like government secret, like those things that you need a clearance for. He had those types of files in his home too. But yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, they did say that he was too old or whatever to stand for trial, but for whatever reason, he was still able to run for president. It's interesting. This is interesting. All right, let's go look at this baby oil. Let's see what this baby oil is looking like. Does it still come in the clear container with the pink top? No. Oh wow, they've changed it. Baby oil is different. Oh no, it's not. It's the same. It's the same. Baby oil. Okay, 20 fluid ounces. Is that a lot? We put 1,000, so you get like 20,000 ounces. What is that? How many milliliters is that? How long does it last on a baby, right? Like, let's say you have a baby, all right? A baby that's this size, this little baby here, this little cute baby. How long will this bottle of baby oil last on this little cute baby right here? Now, if it only lasts for a month on this little baby, well, maybe, a man as big and black as P. Diddy. I know he's not that tall, but I mean, he's bigger than a baby and he's also dark. Like, he probably needs half the bottle of baby oil, when he wakes up in the morning or when you get out the shower, want to make sure he get moisturized up. Because every time I see him, he, at least his lips, they be glistening. Maybe he put it on his lips. I don't know. Let's see how much it costs. $30. I'm not buying it from Amazon. I'm just curious. How many is this? A pack of 6. So it seems that people normally buy more than one. So it's like, all right, let's just pretend that Diddy is 1,000 times richer than me. it would only make sense that if he's looking at this, he's probably looking at Amazon. It's like, you know what? I'm P Diddy. I'm $1,000 times richer than Will. I need to have 1,000 times more than he's gonna get. I'm only gonna be able to get one because I can only afford one because I'm broke compared to Diddy. I'm broke compared to Diddy. I think I think he makes more money in interest in a fucking day than I'll make in a year. Yeah, this is $25 for a pack of 6 though. So for this pack of 1 for a little baby bottle, $247. I should get some baby oil though. I should. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. Let me buy this baby oil right quick. Buy it. I'm gonna show it off tomorrow. Yeah, I just did buy now. I can't have y'all looking at my address. Okay, perfect. Just bought. All right, so I'll have some baby oil coming here Friday. It'll be here in 2 days. But real talk, I was thinking about, I'm like doing the math in my head. Every time I take my jacket, like to the tailor to do this, it's gonna be like $50. I'm just like, well, if the baby oil only costs a few dollars, I could do it myself once or twice a year. Save me some money. Also, I haven't smelled the scent of baby oil. I just want to see, like, does it have a certain scent? Maybe it smells good. It's low scented. And you know what? I'm gonna also try it. I'm gonna try to use it on my I probably won't use. I use shea butter on like as body, but I'll use it on my feet. I don't use shea butter and coconut oil there too, but I'm going to use it on my feet. I'm gonna put baby oil on my left foot or on one foot, and I'm gonna use shea butter on the other foot, and I'm gonna see which one moisturizes better. Does that seem like good content? I don't know if I'll record it. I'll probably forget, but maybe it's a better moisturizer, right? So it's like if I don't have to continue to pay $20 for a bottle of lotion, yes, it costs that much, and I don't know why. It didn't used to cost $20 for a bottle of lotion, but since it cost me damn near $20 for a bottle of lotion, hell, I'd rather pay $2. So if that shit works and it don't have me greasy, I might be a baby oil. I might be the next Diddy out here doing baby oil every day. I ain't mad at it. Let's see here. He used to be known as Shiny Suit Man. He was oiling up those suits. Having those shiny suits, that used to be a thing, but I think that was because it was synthetic, like synthetic fabric, like polyester. I know it's definitely a thing in our community, especially the big suits, the ones that don't fit. You remember those baggy suits? I remember when Michael Jordan, when he got drafted, he had one of them big old baggy suits, just flowing in the wind. That bottle will last you a lifetime. You know what? You're probably right. I'll probably get it and I'll probably be like, you know what? Like it has a scent. I don't like scents. So all of my lotion that I have is scentless. Here, let me see if I can find a lotion. It's Shea Moisture. I used to make my own lotion, but then I stopped making it. So let me find the lotion that I have. It is this one right here, I think. Yeah. I have no, this isn't it. This is coconut oil lotion. I don't have that. I wonder if they don't make it anymore. It was the shea butter lotion. I guess I don't. Huh. That's interesting. They don't sell it anymore. So they used to have a scentless shea butter lotion for like sensitive skin. I buy sensitive skin products. I don't really have sensitive skin. I just buy it because they don't put fragrances in it. God, it's just poison. It's literally toxic. So I don't buy things with fragrances or whatever. But it looks like they don't sell it anymore. All they sell is this shit. Or you can get this, but this is this has a scent. And this is also smaller. It looks like, yeah. Ever since they sold out, the product has gone downhill. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm probably gonna have to find a new product or go back to making my own shit. And I could do videos on that maybe in the future, maybe, probably not. But yeah, I used to do my own stuff. Like you buy your own like argan oil and gosh, what was the other kind of oil that I would use? wasn't walnut oil. It was almond oil, coconut oil, shea butter, cocoa butter, and I would normally do like some type of like mango or mint type of scent, something like a little small amount, a little tiny. You can barely even smell it. It's just something like that. You whip it, you know. It's much better than anything you can buy, but it takes a lot of time. You got to clean up. I don't like cleaning up anymore. Let's see here. You got to put the foot content behind the paywall. Nah, I'm putting it on OnlyFans. You got to pay for these feet pics. You know, we're all equals, you know? So it's like, if they can go out and make tens of thousands of dollars a month for putting their feet out, if we're equal, as they say we are, then I too should be able to go out and put my feet on OnlyFans and make the same amount of money. That is if we are equal after all. Now, we may find out that we are in fact not equal, but you know, that would be misogynist. So we're equal, right? So I'm going to put my stuff on OnlyFans and I expect the same results, right? Because that's what we're pushing for in our country, right? We're not pushing for equal access to opportunity. We're pushing for equal results. So I'm going to expect to be able to make $50,000 a month by putting my feet on OnlyFans. And yeah, I actually know for a fact, verified from a friend of mine who has been paid $500 per picture of her feet. So I know what the price is. That's the average price. So it's like I should also be able to get $500 for a picture of my feet. In fact, I should be able to get more. I have bigger feet than her. My feet are actually bigger. I think they're better too. They can support more weight. You know, they're stronger, they're faster. You know, there's more definition. I got veins in my feet. You know, they pop, you know, and they're good looking. They're pretty good looking feet sometimes, you know. I get pedicures. I'm one of those. You know, they're not bad looking feet. They're not hairy or anything like that, you know. Y'all not ready for that. Y'all not ready for that. I get ashy and I'm super dry on my face, but I rarely moisturize. You got to take care of your skin. It's the largest organ on your body. You should take care of your skin. If your face is ashy, get some face lotion. Just put like a little bit on it, you know, once in the morning after the shower. Or if you shower at night, I don't recommend putting it on at night. In fact, I recommend you wash your face off every night, you know, before you go to bed, and then you wash your face when you wake up, and then you can put your lotion on after that throughout the day. Or you can not do it. It's fine. I will say this though. I have been told that I look fairly young for my age when people see me in person. So, you know, it could just be that, you know, I make sure I'm not dry. I need to go to the gym though so I could look younger. I just don't care enough about all that. Well, I mean, you should. Let's just say it this way. If you don't care enough about yourself, why should anybody else care enough about you? That's how I see it. So it's like, if you want other people to care about you, you need to care about you. All right. So like, you are the person who's the best person for it. Like, you're going to do the best job out of anyone else. So set the bar high. Take care of yourself. Put lotion on. This shit's not hard. Don't be walking around out here looking ashy. Plus, you got to think about the rest of us. Oh, wait. I assume Azari. I'm assuming with that, I'm assuming you're a little dark in complexion. Also, just keep in mind that, you still represent. You can't be out here looking like you've been playing in flour and shit and just coming out. You can't be looking like that, bro. Talcum powder. Put some lotion on. It ain't gonna kill you. You only got to do it once a day. Only once a day. Or if you don't want to use lotion, get you a bottle of that baby oil, baby. Get you some baby oil. Take that shit in the shower. And when you're in the shower, after you done all your stuff, just get that, just slather it on, and let's see how long a bottle of baby oil lasts you. I love to see it. Maybe it don't last you for a month, but just slather it on. Make sure you get all good and moisturized, and then just let the water, and then dry yourself off. You'll probably be nice and soft, supple. All the above. Yeah, you really can't be walking around out here ashy, bro. Like leaving a trail of dust. Hey, he out here acting like he a comet. Just got a little trail following him everywhere he goes. It's just dust. It'll help your house out too, for real though. Like that's actually what dust is dead skin. So if you have moisturized skin, you do limit the amount of dust in your house. Real talk. You also do the same thing with your hair, like wash your hair, you know? I don't know if you're like, for me, I'm black, you know? I don't know, like I know some of y'all might think that I'm white because we could be whatever we want these days, but I'm actually a black man, right? And yeah, I don't know. I'm a woman now. No, I'm a white woman now. I'm lying. I'm never ashy. I'm never ashy. Oh, you light skinned? I'm light skinned too. You think that light skinned people don't get ashy? See, that's the myth. So as a fellow light skinned person, bro, I'm not as light as anymore. I used to play football, but like as a fellow light skinned person, you can't trick me. It's the light skinned ones who be the most ashy. You look at them and it's just like, I'm like, bro, like every time you like rub up against the wall, I see fucking dust. Like it's like just powder coming out. Nah, put some lotion on. Just put some lotion on. It don't matter if you light skinned. And you know what? I had my little, my friend, she's Asian, and I told her the same thing. I'm like, you can't be walking around out here ashy as fuck. Even with my fiance at the time, she used lotion, but like, I was like, you can't be out here ashy just cause you Asian. Like that don't mean that. I'm like, and I even told her, I'm like, I be seeing y'all be ashy as hell. I'm like, put some lotion on. Like, put some lotion on, moisturize yourself, take care of your skin. I'm about to see if she still put lotion on right quick. I'm asking, right? That's me typing. Yo, quick question. You don't be walking around ashy no more, do you? That's literally what I just asked. So we gonna see. We gonna see. She lighter than you, light skin. She's much lighter than you. Just FYI. I don't know if you can get much lighter there. It's like you over here thinking that because you light skin. Have you ever seen people who aren't black? Like the ones who don't put on lotion, they be ashy too. I guess most people are just nice and they don't say stuff. I'm the kind of person, I'll tell you ashy. If I see you, I'll be like, why you so ashy? Like, why your lips dry? Why you got flakes coming out your hair? Like, I'm that person. I don't care. It's like, feel offended, that's fine. It's both got me into trouble, but I also think that that's the reason why I'm in the position I'm in. It's because I'm willing to say the truth or what's on my mind, and it's not in like a bad way. It's just like honesty is important sometimes. Like if you ever watch this show Chernobyl, you'll understand why you need people who are willing to speak up when they see something wrong or when they see something that can be improved. You don't get better if you just look at people and you just, yo, you're fine as yours. You don't say anything. The only way you improve is that you look at what's wrong and what can be done better, and then you say the words, and then you carry out the action to do the thing to make it better. Right, so it's all of those things. So you got to do all of that to have improvement in anything. That's a wild, toxic way to start it. I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, I don't care. It don't matter. It don't matter. The fact is, starting the conversation is starting the conversation. If that's the thing that we get, if that's what we start talking about, and that leads to whatever, then whatever. It's whatever. He said, quick question. You still ashy? Oh, man. But you want to know something, though? As far as I understand, all of my friends like me. So you could, they all know me. Like, I am the person, I'm me, right? Everyone who knows me, if they describe me, they'll just say, yeah, that's just William. That's just Will. Like, Will, he's just Will. Like, he acts like Will. And that's been how I've been described all of my life by all people who know me. They already know that I'm on my own plane, my own wavelength. I kind of like, I'm that kind of person. And they just accept it. So, you could say that, or you could be like, well, he does have a very strong network of people around him who absolutely loves him and who gives him opportunities at any chance. You could look at it that way. Like, I didn't get to where I am alone. It's my friends, my network, the people in my social circle, like all these people who I've worked with over the years, they play a big role in helping me get to where I am now. whether that be giving me opportunities, whether that be teaching me things, whether that be connecting me with other people, whether that be them, going out and, vouching for me with their friends, all of that. So it's not lost on me that they would not be doing that if I wasn't the way I am. So I could be like, you know what? Oh, I should be nice. I should be worried. I could be that. Or I can just recognize that being myself is what made me millions. So it only stands to reason that continuing to be myself will either bring forth the same results. Maybe I'll continue to, make really close friends. Maybe I'll continue to have people vouch for me. Maybe I'll continue to get opportunities. Even now, hell, I'm over here talking shit and y'all are here. We may not know each other that well, but let's be real. Would you really be here if I had a vanilla opinion that was the same as yours that didn't really differ in any kind of way? Why would you be here? To me, that's boring. You don't want people who don't have shit to say and who just they just say whatever is the party line or whatever it's the good thing to say, whatever's the it thing to say other day. I don't think people want that. That's fake. That's not genuine. I think nowadays people are kind of sick and tired of all this fake shit, and they really would just want to see real people. And believe it or not, real people, they're just like me, right? You may think that I'm the only one like me, but I understand that I'm not the only one like me. I'm the only one like me who's willing to be out in public and just be myself publicly. But a lot of my friends, they are, they're really cool. They're dope people too. They're just not as willing to be out and open, which is interesting and ironic because in my circle, I am an introvert and I'm known as an introvert. Seriously, y'all don't realize this, but I'm in my house and y'all are seeing me right now, but I'm very introverted. I don't like being around a bunch of people like that. They all I am an introvert, but all of them are like outgoing. They like to go out, to go partying, all that kind of stuff. And it's interesting how they like to do all of that, but this right here, they would never do it. And I'm probably the most private person ever. And here I am willing to do this. It's kind of odd to me, but it's some, I guess. Let's see. For real, I had to tell my pale ass ginger girlfriend to put on lotion. So see, that's the thing though, right? If someone really cares about you, they'll be honest. Straight up. They'll be honest. If somebody really, really, really cares about you, they're not going to just let you go out looking any kind of way. Even if I'm not even your closest friend, even if we're not even friends, you could be a total stranger. I don't give a fuck. If I see that you got something in your teeth, I'm going to tell you. Let's say, because, if you're going out to eat, sometimes you might get something in your teeth or whatever. One thing that I absolutely hate, and I hate people like this. So if you're like this, I'm sorry, but I hate people who will not say anything because for whatever reason. So if I have something in my teeth and they're not going to tell me. Fortunately, I have friends who are similar to me where they'll just straight, or they know me well enough, they'll just tell me. But I'm the person where it's if I see something, I'll let you know, whether you're a stranger, whether you're someone I know, it don't matter, because that's what I was raised to do. Someone has to speak up eventually. Eventually, someone has to say something. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, if you if I see your pants are down, not down, hopefully you're not. Your zipper. I'll let people know too, even strangers. And you gotta think about it, right? It's a little awkward because I'm tall. I'm taller than the average person. So it's if I notice that your I keep saying pants, your zipper is down. That means that I have to be looking down there. But I'm gonna still tell you. I'll still tell you. I'll be like, man, zip that shit up. I ain't trying to see nothing fly out. Put that shit up. Man, put that up. We don't need to say it. Zip your shit up. All right, what is this? The Harris-Waltz media strategy. Hide from the press. Came out September 19th. Do y'all want to read through this, or should I go through some other crap? Y'all want to read through this? There might be other more fun things to look at, maybe. What y'all want to look at? Y'all want to look at Cursor? I haven't really played with it yet. This is a new text editor. They forked VS Code. It has like AI crap built in. What else is new? There's a new version of Xcode 16 just released. So I've been doing some stuff with that. You know, we can do some of that if y'all want. I mean, I can work. I can always work. I'm always happy to work. Do some work. We can look at some YouTube videos. Let's see what else. I could look through my server to see if there's any other shit I was talking earlier. See what's worth putting here. I'm not gonna show it because I have other people in there. Let's see here. The Soviet. Oh, okay. Oh. Any NYC updates? Probably not. Because the thing is still this. Plus it's late. Like it's like midnight there. You're not gonna get any updates. You probably won't see anything until tomorrow. Oh, actually there is one update. It's nothing to do with what I just said, but it's everything to do with the Russia situation. So let's look at that. Let me close this. Huh? Wait, what? Wait, how did that work? How come that didn't copy the link? Copy text. She's like, I'll be down to try. Aren't oils mostly the same though? I don't know. All right, sorry. I'm over here having my conversation. All right. What was I about to do? We were about to look at the Russia thing. Yeah, let's look at Russia. See what's going on there. Okay. So this came out earlier. Well, I guess last night, or I don't know. My days are weird. I don't have a regular sleep or time schedule like normal people. I kind of work. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, let's read. Putin, we reserve the right to use nuclear weapons in case of aggression against Russia and Belarus. As he said, and Belarusia. All right. Russian President Vladimir Putin proposed significant updates to Russia's nuclear strategy, citing the rapidly evolving global military political situation. I think that's Ukraine now invading Russia, and also NATO approving, and specifically the US and the UK approving some of these long-range missiles or whatever. I forget the name. Is it ATACMS? I forget which missile it is. The long-range precision missiles, they're going to allow them to strike Russian targets in Russia. So that's what he's responding to. He's like, well, this just mean that NATO is in direct war or in conflict with Russia. So this is what's coming out from that. So let's keep going. These changes reflect the Kremlin's concerns about increasing tensions and shifting alliances in international security. Putin emphasized the need to adapt Russia's nuclear strategy to current conditions, stating, "The current military political situation is changing dynamically in the world, and we must take this into account." His comments signal a potential recalibration of Russia's approach to nuclear deterrence. A key component of the proposed updates includes redefining the conditions under which Russia might resort to using nuclear weapons. According to Putin, a number of clarifications have been proposed regarding the conditions under which nuclear weapons may be used. This suggests that Russian military may be considering a broader range of scenarios where nuclear options could be on the table. Now, I know a little bit about like Russia's military doctrine, like their strategy, whatever. Their nuclear are more tactical, whereas here I think ours are more strategic, right? So they're different use cases, but we'll keep going. Putin outlined a new provision that would expand the definition of aggression against Russia. He stated aggression against Russia by any non-nuclear state with the participation or support of a nuclear state. That's code for Ukraine, which is not a nuclear state because they gave that up after USSR fell, and they worked with the West or whatever. So they gave up all of their nuclear stuff, which I'm sure they regret now, but they gave all that up. Now, what are the nuclear nations involved with Ukraine? Well, that's America, United Kingdom, and France. Okay, so these are all nuclear states that are now supporting a non-nuclear state. So that's what he's saying, right? So essentially he's saying by America. That's what he's saying. Like, let's just cut the bullshit. All right, it's proposed to be considered as a joint attack on the Russian Federation. So what he's saying is, if Ukraine attacks us with your weapons, that is you attacking us with your weapons. And I don't really disagree, because Ukraine won't attack unless we back them up. And when I say we, I mean the United States. I would never back Ukraine. Why the hell would I back them? They don't like people like me, and I don't like them. So it goes both ways. I like reciprocation. Isn't reciprocation great? You know, like, I think that's what we need in this world. You know what? Like, I know we're all about we shouldn't hate or whatever, but I think I want to reserve the right to hate the people who hate me. Is that so bad? As far as I understand, they don't like people like me in Ukraine. No, I don't like us. We not like them. So I'm like, if they country were to go, I don't see why anybody in our country, anyone, I'm not just saying people of my complexion, I'm anyone. I don't think anyone in our country, in America, should have to die for anyone in Ukraine, or anyone in Israel, anyone in Palestine, anyone anywhere. I don't want to see any of our citizens abroad dying for anything. If you must die, I'd rather you die here at home protecting your family or your country. Protect the homeland. Like, fuck all these other, like, protect here. That's what I would like to see. But that's why I'm not the president, because I would prioritize Americans, and that's not what we do here. We got to prioritize guns and bullets, because that's actually what makes our economy run. Anyway, this shift implies that any non-nuclear nation involved in hostilities with Russia, backed by a nuclear armed country, could trigger a nuclear response from Moscow. Furthermore, Putin reiterated that Russia reserves the right to use nuclear weapons in defense of not only its own territory, but also that of Belarus, a close ally. We reserve the right to use nuclear weapons in an event of aggression against Russia and Belarus, Putin declared, underscoring the deepening military ties between the two nations. Real talk, Belarus is it's a vassal state of Russia. It always has been. It's always been close to Russia. The fact that they're two different countries, I don't even see why they're two different countries, but neither here nor there. The proposed changes highlight Russia's growing concern over the security threats posed by NATO and other Western aligned countries, as well as potential regional conflicts that could involve nuclear powers. And here is him saying it himself from Rue News. All right, so we could listen to it, but it's basically what I just read. All right, so yeah, that happened. So that's gonna be fun. It'll be fun. And then, okay. Let's see here. What else do I want to show? I think there was one other thing. Pay your bills. Yes. There is a what is this? Copy text. Yeah, copy text. Oh, yo, what's up, Hoosier? I see y'all. Diddy escaping the jail after being denied bail for the second time. Hold on, wait. Let me pull it out. Hold on. How do I? Oh, wait, I can share this. Let me close my side panel thing so that we don't see any of those folks. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I can put it here. All right. So. Take my pride. Can't nobody hold me. All right, I definitely don't want to play that out loud. You know, Diddy did he had a movie Gosh, who was it? Oh fuck. It was one of those party movies, and he was like chasing. Man, what I forget the name of the art. I forget the name of the person and the movie. I'm not a good. He played in Pineapple Express. Who's the guy who played in Pineapple Express? Y'all seen that movie? Pineapple Express. This guy. What's his name? Wait, that's Seth Rogen? Holy shit. I didn't know that was Seth Rogen. I like Seth Rogen. I like him. Anyway, let's see. Let's do Seth Rogen P. Diddy movie. He was in a movie. See if I can find it. He was chasing them through something. I forget what it. Oh, Get Him to the Greek. Is that the movie? That could be it. Get him to the Greek. Where Diddy was chasing them down the hall. Nah, this ain't it. Nah, this ain't it. It was a scene in some movie. I forget what it was, but he was chasing them down the hall or something. And they were running. Maybe you're right though. I don't remember. I haven't consumed media from mainstream in so long. I don't watch movies. I barely listen to music, like music from the major labels. I barely listen to it. Basically, music that comes out of America is dead and empty to me, so I rarely listen to it. I listen to music from other countries. In fact, if you are now in my Discord, you will, if you go to my like the members throughout the day, if I'm listening to music, you'll see what I'm listening to. Or if you just go to my link tree, you can go look at the play. I haven't been putting the playlist together because I noticed that people weren't using it. I was just like, well, fuck it. So I don't publish them all. But I do have some that are published before I stopped. So we have these right here. So I stopped doing it, but you can kind of get a sense for some of the stuff that I listen to. Unfortunately, you won't see all of the other crap because I have a lot of different things going on here. And obviously, I don't know if you can tell it's obvious, but yes, I do listen to music in different languages because, believe it or not, I'm not fluent in all of the languages, but I can understand 3 different languages slightly, like to varying levels, right? So like I can understand a bit of French, I can understand a bit of Chinese, and I can understand a bit of Spanish, just a tiny bit of Spanish. Just enough, mainly because I'm familiar with it because I grew up here. But French, I can read French better than I can than like hearing it, but I can still kind of make out if you talk slow enough. Chinese, to an extent too. If you only use like simple words, I can understand. And you don't use like any uncommon words that I wouldn't know, then yeah, I can probably kind of get by. You said it a few times, I'll be like, oh, okay, I get the gist of what you're saying. But yeah, so I listen to music in multiple languages and Arabic, obviously, because I lived in the Middle East, and if you live in the Middle East, you start listening to that. Also, when I was in East Africa, I listened to music that's in Swahili, South African stuff, like all that. Like, so I listen to music abroad, has a message or a better message. And if it doesn't have a message, at least it's not about drugs, sex, killing stuff, materialism, all of the bullshit that we have in our music that's trash, that makes it trash. Anyway, if you want to see that, you go to my link tree and go to playlist, you can see it there. And you'll also notice that I also put my join the community here too, so you can do that from here in the future. If you are someone who's watching this and you're like, oh, I want to come in and come talk shit with you. We don't have a community guidelines yet. There will be one. So yes, I do talk a lot of shit, but that doesn't mean that like I'm cool with people, saying foul shit. I have my limit. And I feel like if I'm the person that's telling you you're doing too much, you probably doing too much. Cause I'm more of a live and let live kind of guy. I'm like, do you? All right, what are we gonna look at? What is there to see? Let me go back to my real talk channel and see what else there's here. So here's a video that I wanted to go through and I forgot, and now I remembered. So we're gonna watch this video and then maybe we will call it a night, maybe. unless y'all want to have some conversation to discuss it. So this is a video that I got about halfway through and I was like, man, this shit is hitting so hard that I think that I need to, oh wait, hold on. I think that I need to share this with others. So I'm going to share that with y'all now. And let me give the link to the video, because if I'm going to share videos like this, I would like to give credit publicly. It's in my Discord, but it's not in the, here, I'll share it. I'll share it in public chat too. How about that? I'll be nice. I'll repeat myself. Okay. So this is the video we're going to watch. It's called History is a Ledger. And I like within the first 5 minutes, I only got through about 6 or 7 minutes and I was like, I need to do this live. Within the first 5 minutes, completely changed my perspective. Phenomenal video. So we're gonna watch this. So let me go ahead and turn off this music. All right, and we're gonna get into it.
Understand that time is a linear progression. History is not. History is what we have made of time. It's a ledger, which means that the past is always interacting with the present and influencing the future. This is the case for individuals and it's the case for nations. It's true individually and it's true collectively. Everything you do is a transaction. You purchase your deeds, your actions on credit, and the eventual payment is rendered in the currency of consequences. Again, this is true for individuals and it's true for nations.
Bruh.
And
Bruh. That right there is a quote. That's a bar. That is a bar. We gotta do it again. We gotta go back. Gotta go back.
Actions on credit for nations. It's true individually and it's true collectively. Everything you do is a transaction. You purchase your deeds, your actions on credit, and the eventual payment is rendered in the currency of consequences. Again, this is true for individuals and it's true for nations.
Just 30, I'm sure just 30 seconds in. If y'all are like, man, okay, I see why Will is like, yeah. This is just 30 seconds in. Let's keep going.
And history is a record of all those transactions and how they get settled. It's an audit detailing the balancing of the books. So at any given moment in the present, you're both settling some accounts and anticipating outstanding payments that will be coming due. The further you move away in time from a past action, the closer you're coming to the consequences of that action. But people, especially on a collective level, on the level of nations, they imagine that the more time goes by, it means that they may never have to pay, as if that transaction just got lost and forgotten somehow. But no, the longer you go without a reckoning, the closer you're getting to the reckoning. All of that to say, America and the collective West have been buying their actions on credit for a very long time, and alarmingly expensive actions that have a monstrous cost. And they've been doing nothing but compound their moral debt all this time, as if the books will never be balanced. But that's not how history works. History is the continuous balancing of the books over and over again. And in fact, we're witnessing this happening right now in the West, to the West. The scales are rebalancing. And I don't think there's anything anyone can do about it except to ride it out. You set this in motion yourselves by your actions, and not just by the actions themselves, but the way you did what you did and the whole mentality behind that, the whole mentality that drove that. Because the mentality is still there. And this is fundamentally the issue. And I believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will teach humanity what your mentality leads to and what its end is. I've said before that the core flaw, the mental or psychological or spiritual flaw of the West originally was the inability to properly assess or assign value. You reacted.
Bruh. Like, so that is one of the fundamental things that we try to figure out in our country, like in everything. It's like, how do we value something? And he just like articulates it perfectly.
To the relative material scarcity, resource scarcity in Europe, you reacted with resentment and then with violent accumulation. Your whole culture, your whole so-called civilization was built around these two things: resentment about being in any sort of state that you thought was deprivation. In other words, thinking that you deserved to have more than you had, and being angry about anyone having what you didn't have. And then it was built around obtaining what you didn't have. Value is assigned to possessing things, and then is assigned to whatever means enables the possession of things. And then eventually, that included even wanting to possess or to have a reputation or an image as an important superior civilization. It's the same psychological driver. You wanted...
Let's see. Who is the speaker? I shared the link. I don't know. No idea. I don't think it has his name, but I'm sure if you go here and maybe there's some, I don't know. You can I don't know. I don't want to figure it out yet because then I have to stop playing it and then go and look through the internet. But despite who he is, and I'm this kind of person where it's like I like to remove the person and just hear the ideas, the thoughts. If this were Kamala Harris saying this, I would be 100% behind her, 100%. If this was P Diddy here telling me this right now, I would be behind him 100%. If it was Biden, like I don't care who, like it doesn't matter to me is what I'm trying to get at. Like anyone can say it. You could say it. If this were you, Hoosier, and you're like, man, if this is what you're saying, you better believe I'm following you, and you better believe I'm out here spreading the word. Like, man, go. You need to hear what this person is saying, whether I know your name or not. Like, but I don't know. Maybe we'll find out one day, because I might start to see more stuff from him just as a result of YouTube noticing that I'm playing this video, and the way they normally do is they recommend you more shit when you watch something. So we'll see.
What you didn't deserve, rather than wanting to deserve having it. That's the sense of that's the sense of entitlement that lays at the heart of your resentment. And this is where the incessant lies and deceit became embedded in your culture. You want to have the reputation of being a superior civilization without being one. You wanted to be admired, wow, to be loved, to be respected, and so on, while still behaving in a way that earns nothing but contempt and loathing and disrespect.
Bro, like, you know what? Like that pathology that he just described, I see that in a certain group of people who signal their virtue, where they want to be seen as a thing, but they don't have any other qualities or behaviors or any other, like they don't actually embody it, but they want to be recognized for those things. And it's interesting that it's those people who have basically won. And when I say won, I mean like a long, long time ago, like back in the 30s, 40s, like that. Like, for what it's worth, if you don't know, like America is a liberal country. Even me, I am liberal. You may not believe it. Even you, if you say, "Oh, I'm a conservative," no, you're not. You're liberal. You just don't understand what liberal means. Like liberal, the classical sense. America is a liberal country. The idea that we are all created equally. That's a very liberal idea. The fact that you should not have to pay for the sins of your father or your family or whatever. That's a very liberal idea that, we're all individuals. Liberal Christianity is like, at least Christianity relative to other, like, is fairly liberal relative to other religions. And yeah, anyway, let's keep going. I don't want to get sidetracked.
I mean, the so-called Enlightenment was supposed to usher in a new era of rationality and reason and justice and brotherhood and equality and all of that. And what actually followed was white supremacy, colonization, predatory capitalism, hundreds of millions of deaths in war, the PR and propaganda industries, disinformation, misinformation, and control of information, an unprecedented concentration of wealth and power in fewer and fewer hands.
All right, so Shahid Bolson, political commentator. Well, I like him. I hope that he's a writer too. I would like to read, like if he's written books or whatever, I would like to read his ideas. I think this is how you become a better person, and you go out and you acquire knowledge, right? Because one thing that I was taught is that wisdom is learning from others, And the way you learn from others is you read their stories, you study what they've done, like you listen essentially, like you see and you take from it what you can. And I was also raised that you can learn something from everybody. And I mean that. You are never too good to where you can't learn from someone. You can learn from the homeless dude under a bridge. You can learn from a small child who hasn't experienced what you've experienced. You can learn from anyone. And you can learn from people who you disagree with. You can learn from people who you think are evil. You can learn from everything. So it's like, like you listen to as many, and I think that's my superpower. It's that I pull from such a diverse set of like ideas that I just have a very unique perspective on things, because I have all these competing ideas in my head, my own, from other people, from like, what I guess people media is saying. Like I can hold all these in my head and kind of see how they all interplay. I think that's a useful thing to have. Yeah, you'll definitely have to check it out.
Undreamt of, by the way, by the monarchs and popes of the Dark Ages. Income disparity like the world has never seen, on and on. Yes, technology also, but technology driven by the war industry, by slaughterhouse mining in subjugated countries, brutal resource extraction, not to mention your enlightenment brought about the ability to annihilate all human life on this planet. That's you enlightened. And you call all of that prosperity and security and progress. So all of these actions have been purchased on credit, and the payment will be extracted from you. In fact, it's being extracted from you now. Look at the UK, the former British Empire. Well, it won't be long before the population of that country is comprised predominantly of the former subjects of that empire. You're being replaced by the people you colonized. That's justice, epochal justice. The same with France. They're being driven out of Africa, and now Africans are the only ones that are keeping France from becoming completely depopulated. Think about that. You insisted as colonizers to be where
Ain't that
they
crazy?
were, and now they are where you are. But you see how you compound your moral debt? You rebel against this justice. Imagine.
Yeah,
countries that only...
The cadence, yeah. It's definitely got that. It could also just be due to where he was educated. Because if you watch a lot of political commentators from the 50s and 60s, including even in the 70s, like, it's a night and day difference. Like, we've lost all of that. People had a much stronger command of the English language. They were much more articulate. They actually had discourse and dialogue. It wasn't just shouting over each other like what we see nowadays. It was a very different era, and people talked like this. So I imagine that this guy, given his age, he was likely educated in this, in that same type of way, right? Like a certain generation they speak this way. And I miss it. I really miss it, because when I was growing up, it was that generation that I looked to as my heroes, and that generation being like, people like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and other folks. Like, those were some of my heroes. Also, Frederick Douglass was another one. So yeah. By the way, I'm curious if have any of y'all read the book Uncle Tom's Cabin? Just curious. Have any of y'all read it?
They have wealth because they stole and exploited other people's resources and other people's labor in those people's own countries. And then when those people come to your country, you have the gall to say that they're leeching off the welfare system and stealing your job. Meanwhile, all they're actually doing is expecting you to stick to the so-called values that you espouse, about citizenship and equality and so forth. And there's nothing that you hate more than that, being expected to actually act in accordance with what you say. Because you never believed it. You just wanted to be believed while actually never civilizing to the level of the values that you espouse. So there's no way out for you. You see what I mean? There's no way out of paying the bill that you have accrued. Because you're doing nothing ever but add to that bill. And subhanAllah, when anyone talks about the things that you've done in the past, Just say African Americans, for example. You say, hey, look, the past is the past. We have to move on, you know?
Yep, they do.
Stop playing the victim. Well, that's like telling a bill collector that they should just let go of the past, you know? I bought that thing a long time ago. Why are you still going on about it? If you keep
Yes.
insisting that I pay for it, you're just playing the victim. Try that the next time a bill collector calls you. Let's let bygones be bygones. See how far that gets you. You don't do right. You never do right. You just gaslight. But that's not going to work in the long term. Because there's only one thing that I know of that can potentially mitigate consequences, and that's repentance. I mean, repentance and obviously atonement. But you think, for instance, that officially abolishing chattel slavery, for example, equates to repentance for chattel slavery, but it doesn't. You know, if you stop beating someone with a club, it's not the same as repenting for having beaten them with a club, especially when you just start punching them instead of beat them. So like chattel slavery, that was dehumanizing, racist subjugation, and forced labor. Okay, did you stop doing that? Did you stop dehumanization, racist subjugation, and forced labor? Or did you just switch from clubbing people to punching them? The dehumanization is still there, the racism is still there, the subjugation is still there, the forced labor is still there. And not just in the form of the prison industrial complex and mass incarceration of the descendants of the people you enslaved. No, not just that. It continues in the form of the conditions you have created in your society which dictate people's options for survival. No one has a choice. All you did was increase the complexity of the oppression.
Damn,
You know?
bars.
It's like it's like you think if
he-
you create a
like,
bunch of shit,
so-
they'll come.
I had to pause there. This, I can tell that this is obviously he's intelligent, but like he used the right word. That's indeed complexity. It's just more steps. It's the same amount. It's the same shit, same end goal. It's just more steps to it. It's just extra steps. And like this dude is like, he seems to be clued in. He seems to have a very, very, very deep understanding of some issues that are happening here in America, but also just like expanding it out to say, you know what, like, now this is actually like the culture. Down.
Companies and offshore accounts, you can evade payment for the actions that you've purchased. You just created layers, you know, curtains between you and blame and responsibility. But those curtains will be flung open. You know, it's like when people agree to split a check for a group dinner, but you ate from everyone's plate, okay? You officially only bought a salad, but you ate from everyone's plate. But you think that when the bill comes...
Wait, you think this is trivial? I don't know if this is trivial, bro. I don't know. Maybe it's trivial to you. I don't think that these are trivial matters. Real talk. What he's talking about. These seem to be very, very non-trivial. And they still affect us to this day. Very negatively, I might add. So I wouldn't go down the path of saying, yeah, like, no, there's nothing trivial about what he's saying. Well, at least I will agree to disagree. I don't think what he's talking about is trivial.
When the check comes, all you'll have to do is pay for your salad. But everyone saw you eat everything. You're just trying to be tricky. So there's no repentance. And there's no atonement. You're not doing anything to actually help yourselves, even as...
Oh, wait. I should also say, this is based only off of watching this one thing. Now, I might agree with you if I watch more shit, if YouTube starts recommending more stuff, and I'll be like, yeah, you're right. He's talking about trivial shit. But at least in this video, I don't know if it's anything, what he's talking about trivial. Oh, I thought Gab was trivial matters. Is that not the case? My bad. I thought Gab meant something different. Then ignore me. I don't know what the fuck Gab means. I'll look it up though. Actually, yeah, I'll look it up. How about that? Yeah, let's look up. We'll take this as a learning opportunity for me, so I can learn what the fuck Gab means. Sure, dictionary.com, whatever. Sure, Gab definitions. To chat idly, chatter. What kind of? Wait, is this an actual dictionary? Let's go to a better dictionary. I don't know what this is. Dictionary.com. Dictionary. Webster. Is that a dictionary? Webster. Do people still use Webster? Gab. Thought. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's to talk in a rapid or thoughtless manner. Chatter. Yeah. I think I was right. I may have been thinking more just the connotation of it, but I've always assumed. Well, I shouldn't say assume because I did learn this word back in the day. But I thought that the word chatter or like chat had the connotation that it's light, that it's of trivial matters, that it's kind of like, it's like, no, lighthearted. That's kind of what I interpreted chat to be. And chatter, and that's what they're saying. Yeah. So especially in that idle talk, I would assume idle talk sounds very much like trivial stuff to me. Maybe there's another. All right, that's what they say. So let's look at another dictionary. What's another dictionary? Oxford, maybe? Oxford dictionary. These days I got to go to multiple dictionaries because they all say different things. So we'll say Gap. An idle boast, a show of bravado. I don't think that's the way you're using it. Intransitive, to boast, brag, or I don't think that's the way you're using it. Colloquial, talk, in early use, light, entertaining chat, lively conversation, foolish or inconsequential talk, prattle, twaddle. Yeah. So it seems like the connotation is fairly consistent, that it's mostly, I'm using the word trivial, but maybe chat, maybe it's a better word, but yeah, maybe me saying trivial is what did it. All right, what's another dictionary? Dictionary. Or we could just go to Google, just type Gap and see what comes back. Gap definition. Talk at length, typically about trivial matters. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think I'm more confused now because this is kind of what I thought it was, but you're using it in a way that I've never seen. So maybe gift of gab means something different from gab. So let's see, gift of gab. Maybe that's a saying. Okay, all right, I see what it is. Okay, so I think is this a colloquial? Yeah, this is a phrase. Is this a colloquialism or something like that? Wait, what? How do I work with this? I see. Okay, I understand now. So it turns out that this is a phrase that I've never heard of. So I was reading it literally, like gift of gab. Like I'm thinking of the definition of the word gab. My bad. But hopefully now that I've done this, you can see why I was confused. Is that turns out the word gab actually does mean what I thought, but if you say gift of gab, then it means something completely different and opposite of what gab means. That's weird. That's confusing. Why? I see why people have trouble with English, like real talk. I'm starting to see why people have trouble with English, because there's no way in hell that I would read this and be like, oh yeah, this means the opposite of what gab means when you say gift of gab. Wow, that's weird. Okay, so I learned a new phrase. And I hope that you learned a new definition of the word of gab, what it actually means. It actually means what I thought, which is, inconsequential, chatty, trivial. Interesting. All right, anyway, let's go back to what we were listening to.
The consequences are already spreading across your so-called civilization. So like with America, you should have understood that your beginning was atrocious, and you should have feared that. The genocide of the Native Americans doomed you from the start, and you should have very quickly tried to right that wrong, but you didn't. You compounded it, and you are continuously compounding it until today. Just now, for instance, just right now, you are poisoning Native Americans in America with uranium radiation right now. You went from genocide to chattel slavery.
Wait, he must live. Does he live here? Since you found him, is he American? How does he know that? It's like he knows all of America's dirty little secrets. That's true. That is true. All of the nuclear bomb testing sites that we used to do here in America, that was on Native American reservation land. Oh my gosh! Wow. I don't know how you know that. That's
The
interesting.
vicious Western expansion, the manifest destiny, Southwest expansion, the dehumanization of everyone that you ever wanted to subjugate and exploit, from Native Americans to Africans.
I'm not going to be able to catch you up, but what I will fully recommend is you don't have to go back in this stream because I shared it. I shared a link in the chat, and if you're in the Discord, you might be in the Discord. I don't know. If you're in the Discord, I shared it in the public chat. So I would highly recommend listening. But he's talking about like history is a ledger. So he's explaining a concept, right? Like he's expanding my perception of what history is, because I've always just known history to just be the things that happened. But he gives a much more thoughtful and I don't know, I would argue complete definition of it. And like he's going down the implications, and he's just giving examples of things. So I would highly recommend like watch it from the beginning. You don't have to watch it on my stream. Like I shared it, remember, just this is worth watching for real.
The Mexicans, the Chinese immigrants on the West Coast, to the Irish. Dehumanization has always been your go-to for justifying oppression and subjugation, and you're still doing it. Sometimes it takes the form of racism, of white supremacy. And sometimes it takes the form of classism or ideological dehumanization, cultural bigotry, whatever. Because that's all that white supremacy actually is. It's just the dehumanization of people whom you want to subjugate and plunder. When the people that you want to subjugate and plunder happen to also be so-called white, well, then they don't qualify as superior and supreme, like the Irish or the Scottish or East Europeans or what have you, Bosnians, Russians, etc. The moment any people have what you want, whether it's their natural resources or their labor, or even their ideas.
For what it's worth, Middle Easterns, Arabs, if on our census, they are classified as white. Which makes sense because the Caucasus mountain ranges, like all that goes through that region. That's actually where that's where it comes from, like there, right? So it's like Caucasian is Caucasus, Asia, the Caucasus, which are in Asia, like so. It's like, is he wrong? Because when I was in the Middle East, like they present just like the same way here, and it's interesting. It's interesting. We went there to plunder their oil.
The moment they have what you want, then they cease to be humans. They cease to be human beings. The moment they have what you want, you will discover, even through your science.
I think you want to watch this, bro. Because just by reading what you just said, you're framing history in the same way that I understood history to be. He's giving you a different level. Like you will understand why I'm like, yeah, this is something I've never considered. It's not even about moving on. I'm going to say this because it's in the title, but he's saying that history is a ledger. So if you think about what a ledger is, then like what you're saying, yeah, we can say that, but like you may also come away thinking that it's like, okay, like it has nothing to do with moving on from the past or any of that shit. Like there is no past per se. Like no, there is no moving on. Like it goes forward. Or another way to say it is where you are today is a direct result of what you did in the past. So you can't say, oh, just move on, because that's not how life works, right? Like you are only where you are because of the things that you've done in the past. You can't really move on from that. You can only be where you are as a result of what you've done. Anyway, watch his stuff. And this isn't like he goes into that in the first 3 minutes. So if you wanted to tune out after 3 minutes, you could do it there. All right, bro. Have a good night, man.
Scientific research, all the reasons why they are inferior, they're undeserving, they're troublesome, they're backwards, they're primitive, they're stupid, they're lazy. Basically, they're ineligible for any right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All men are created equal unless those men have something that you want. Then they're no longer in the human category. And then the rule of human equality no longer applies to them. That's how you do. But you created these dehumanizing narratives, and you raised your generations on that. You raised your generations on saying one thing and doing another. You raised them on a diet of mocking moral values, mocking principles. You raised them to think that morals and values and principles and the law are all just words to be invoked whenever you want to justify or camouflage immoral, unprincipled, illegal actions. So like you can murder Patrice Lumumba, for example, dissolve that man's body in acid and literally keep his tooth like a serial killer keeping a trophy, but then tell the Congo, you have to bring evidence that meets our legal standards of due process. So you raised your people to believe that principles are just tactics in a game, something that you can weaponize against others. You know, you can throw due process and legality out the window to do whatever you want to do, and then you can pretend that you insist on dotting every I and crossing every T legally when your victims call you out for your crimes and accuse you. You normalized hypocrisy and double standards for your people to where they literally don't know how else to be now. That means that when the bill comes due for all your past actions and all the actions that you're committing today, your own people, your own nation, your own so-called civilization will have no way to pay that bill except by means of the complete foreclosure of Western so-called civilization.
Damn. Damn. With that, I think it's probably good to go. It's 2 hours in. Unless y'all want to chat, I'm happy to chat, hang around for a few more minutes to chat around. But yeah, it's late. It's almost 12 o'clock. So I'll stick around for 10 seconds. If I get a message, I'll stay. If not, I'm out. Turn this music back on now. All right. So yeah, with that, I hope y'all enjoyed tonight's live stream. I know it was a little weird. I didn't get anything done. Just kind of hanging out. I might be around tomorrow, but it'll probably be me working. Real talk. I got work to get done. So yeah, if you liked any part of this, I would highly appreciate a thumbs up, a like on the stream. That does help. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, you can always subscribe. You can follow me on anywhere. And join the Discord, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to try to start talking there. I'm not really a talkative person in Discord, but I'm going to try to. I'll at least start posting stuff sometime. But yeah, y'all have a good night. Oh, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. Please. All right, so y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all in the future. Peace.